back for the first time ever since 1999. Full-length tuned air. Oh, yes. Hey, what's good, guys? My name's Chris. Welcome back to the official WearTesters.com YouTube channel. Today we got a detailed look at these bad boys right here. This is 1999 goodness to the max, pun intended. This is the Nike Air Tuned Max. Why it's not the Air Max Tuned or Tuned Air, I don't know. The Tuned Air stuff got a little weird for some people. Some people dislike Tuned Air, they just don't like it at all. But the concept seemed really cool. Now, these guys right here are the first, I believe, full-length iteration of Tuned Air, which I think is really dope. The first version of Tuned Air, I believe, was the year before this, which was 1998, and the Nike Air Max Tuned Air, or TN. Those are the shoes that a lot of people don't like anymore, even though they were mad popular when they first came out, especially here in the States. I get the comments from people overseas in the UK, and they're like, basically like the riffraff wears those shoes and stuff. And I'm just like, all right, whatever. But here in the States, I still think they're cool looking, so I have to do this myself. But you should never let nobody take away your love for something just because. So if you love that Tuned Air shoe, just because you see some schmuck wearing it, can you say schmuck?
As long as we don't break down what the word means.
What does it mean? Are you sure you're not thinking of schmegma? Yeah. But anyways, just don't let nobody take away the shit that you like just because, man. All those dudes, just ignore them. Now, these guys right here are just super interesting because Tuned Air was something when I was a kid where I was like, man, this is awesome. Why? I had no idea. I just knew that it was a new air system, therefore I needed it. Did I ever get one? No, but I have it now. So again, this guy right here is the first full-length version, which you can see with the, this is a little weird, I gotta say, a little spermy, I'm just traveling, you know what I mean? But that is the depiction of what the Tuned Air is supposed to do. Before we get into the Tuned Air though, the outsole I don't think is the same as the originals. So again, the originals were from 1999, and believe it or not, this was a performance running shoe. I still can't get over that when I see current modern shoes. I think that newer running shoes are just far superior than some of this older stuff. But I believe the originals had what they call carbon rubber, or BRS, which was a really durable type of rubber outsole. These guys don't have any BRS branding on the bottom. Normally when they do, they'll have it like stamped in there or whatever, kind of like when Adidas uses Continental, like there would be like the stamp on there. So I don't think that this is the original, but there are the traditional Nike lugs that are a little nod to the waffle outsoles that are so popular in Nike's history and heritage. And then you can see the little yellow accents that again are supposed to depict what the Tuned Air is actually doing. So when you move on up to the full length cushion, first off, they put the line back. A lot of people are gonna be like, what line? It's that seam right in the middle. They took that off years ago. They make air units completely different now than what they used to. All the original Air Max units, not all of them, but like the actual like big bubbly ones, they used to have a line in the middle of the unit where they would smash the top and bottom together. I don't know if you guys are gonna be able to see it because glares and things like that from the lighting, but inside of each of these air units, there's usually those pillars, right? And those pillars are typically filled up with foam, and the foam is from the midsole and everything, where it's like pancake top and bottom, and that stuff will allow a little bit of compression, but mainly those are support pillars. These guys right here, they don't have foam inside. Instead, they're little spheres, so they're like little plastic balls. And what that was supposed to do originally, which I believe in the 1998 pair, the Tuned Air shoe, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's only tuned on one portion, so I think that was for like pronation to support awkward heel strikes and then move you into the more softer landing. But they were all like chambered, so it would push air from the pillared side over to the pillowed side, which you can hopefully see in the little diagram picture that's right over there. But you can also see that those air units are not connected from the heel to forefoot. And that's what these guys are supposed to show, is that it's keeping you stable for heel crashes, but then it's supposed to be pushing the air up to the forefoot so you get a more cushioned forefoot strike. So from what I've read, people did not like the way that that felt back in the day. This is my first pair of these, so it doesn't feel like anything crazy, I'll tell you that, but they do feel comfortable, which I was actually surprised with because a lot of the Air Max retros don't feel that good. One of my favorites is the 97s and the 98s. Full length Air, I just love it. It looks amazing and it feels like Now, unlike the Air Max 97 and 98, the upper portion of the midsole is not a PU or polyurethane, it's actually just a regular Phylon, so that's probably why these feel way more comfortable than something like that. I also really like the sculpting on these. I just think that it looks awesome. Like, they are just so like all over the place, it's dope. Now, the upper on these guys is all synthetic everything, so if you're a vegan sneakerhead, you know, have at thee. You should like these a lot. But the entire structure of the shoe is pretty much this lightweight mesh. It's got this interesting pattern into it and everything, and I think that's really cool. Plus the TPU cage, the little rubbery line areas. They actually borrowed this midfoot section from this shoe and they put it inside of the Vapor Max Evo. Is that what they were called? Let me just make sure.
It was.
Let me just make sure. There's so many Vapor Max shoes.
It was like the evolution
because the
of
other
all the air that took you to
No,
VaporMax.
I know, and it was awesome, but like it was Evo, so cool. But yes, this midfoot section right here, the little cage and the actual mesh look and everything like that was placed on the VaporMax Evo, which I thought was dope because this is a shoe, again, that hasn't ever re-released, not once until now. And then it does have this iridescent finish. I believe they called these the celeries. I don't know why. Celery doesn't quite look like this. Maybe celery seed?
Or with some old peanut butter.
What kind of peanut butter are you looking at?
Like really old peanut butter.
I don't know.
Where you haven't mixed the oil back in.
But it's got this pearlescent finish, so at least the purpley looking areas, when you move them, it does turn into this green area. I thought at first that this was foam posite. I don't think it is. That was the shoe, that wasn't me. Okay, I just need you guys to just know. I'm replicating it because it's not me. But yeah, I thought at first that the collar area was foam posite. I don't think it is. It just feels like it's all synthetic. I do like the way that they were put together, with the exception of this toe right here. I don't know why, but like got like a weird hump in it. And I saw a lot of these, like a lot of different pairs and different sizes. And for whatever reason, the right shoe, this toe, they all look like that. And I'm just kind of like, left shoe, right shoe factory, at it again. Now the tongue is really interesting because it's not quite a gusseted tongue, which is like a sleeved tongue, but it is a neoprene style, and then it's actually attached right to the upper of the shoe, so it doesn't move whatsoever. So it's an interesting fit. Some people are not gonna like it. Like if you got a high arch, you probably won't fit with these whatsoever. If you got a wide foot, it might be hard to get into. However, the branding on the tongue and the heel is awesome. You can see that they're just simple swooshes with the 5 dots. In case you don't know what the 5 dots are for, it's actually for the Nike Alpha Project, which was a kind of, at the time at least, an off the wall, no holds barred, like they were like throwing everything they could at these models. That was like their line in Nike across all of the categories, by the way, not just running, but it happened in basketball and everything like that too, where those shoes were basically trying to push the boundaries of performance. And they used to all come in boxes like this. This shoe does not. It comes in a sportswear box, but it would have been awesome. Just looks OG, man. Now, as far as sizing is concerned, they do fit very, very snug, even for someone like me. So if you want a little bit of wiggle room, I would suggest going up at least a half a size. Try them on in store if possible. They are available locally over at Phenom if you're in the Sacramento or Elk Grove area. Also, they have the Minnesota location as well, and so you can check them out, or just go to phenomglobal.com and they should have them on there. But yeah, I just think that this is a cool shoe. Do you like the way that these look? Not really? No? Okay.
Well, so I was
that look was everything.
I was trying to think about it as me, normal consumer, and I already have a Nike shoe that's kind of similar to this. My Tailwinds, and so
those are dope.
And so I wear those if I'm going for this look, and I still really like my Tailwinds, and they're still in pretty good condition.
A lot of the shoes in that era do look like this.
Yeah, and
they definitely have that specific look.
Yes.
Where it's like, you can tell when they were from the mid 90s to the early 2000s. Because even some of the foam posite like / shock runners, which there's this one pair, man, I love those things. A lot of people probably have forgotten about them, but there was foam posite plus shocks, and they were low tops, and there was a zipper. It was like everything that I could ever want as a young sneaker connoisseur. And yeah, I was never able to get a pair, but like that shoe even like has this kind of just really weird, almost like metal type of vibe to it. Like if the Terminator wore sneakers, not the skinned Terminator, but like the skeletal shell.
Do you think he would need sneakers?
He does not. His metal body is so strong that it does not need. But if he wanted to look fresh for whatever reason, something like this is probably what he'd be wearing. And why I brought up the Terminator, I have no idea. It's just, it looks, you know, like organic metal.
We watched a movie the other night that gave me strong Terminator vibes, and I was like, how did we get here?
What movie?
King Kong versus...
How did that give you...
How did it not?
Because that was just an epic adventure.
But the main protagonist made a giant Terminator, basically.
No, but that was like a callback to the OG Mechagodzilla days.
Was that a thing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever watched a single Godzilla movie until the other night.
Yeah, because I mean, you run out of kaiju at a certain point, and so then your enemy becomes, you know, the kaiju. They're like the monsters.
Oh, okay. I did watch the beginning. I mean, I watched all of it, but where they were giving a mini history lesson without talking and showing all the different battles.
Yeah, and Godzilla's, at least in this universe, the protector of Earth, and then King Kong is kind of the same thing, but like not. You know
it was
what I mean?
all very confusing though, because a month ago we watched that other movie that had a giant gorilla, the one with the rock.
Oh, what was that? Rampage.
And I had to keep reminding myself, this is not the same. Like, this isn't that gorilla getting to that big.
I really liked that movie.
That was a good movie.
It was so fun. That video game is one of my favorites. But yeah, like that I don't know why, but that movie was just fun. Like I loved that monkey or gorilla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like he was hilarious.
Yeah,
I
and
just thought
they
it was
both
cool.
had like the same sign language thing going on.
Yeah,
So
they definitely like evolved Kong where he's never been quite like that before. He's just been King Kong. But I thought it was cool. Like they tried to add like mythology to it, and like that is what spawned Power Rangers and Voltron. And Power Rangers came first. Just letting you know.
well, all of this stuff was definitely in your wheelhouse.
They weren't called Power Rangers at the time, but in Japan, the Sentai stuff was before Voltron. For all of you Voltron guys that have been like, oh, it's just a ripoff of Pat. No, it's not. Gotcha Men though. They're the ones that look like birds. No? Oh, dude, it's so good. It is. I don't even know why we're talking about this.
I don't know. But thanks for staying with us.
Yeah. So let us know what you think about these down below in the comment section. Are you excited for future colorways as well? Because I saw that there was a couple of other OG ones coming, so I'll be on the lookout for sure. Again, let us know your thoughts down below. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all the support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.